Hey everyone, welcome. We're diving into natural language processing today, NLP.
Yeah.
We're looking at some code about text preprocessing.
Right.
How do we make this text like something a computer can understand?
It's actually quite a challenge
Yeah,
because we humans,
we're messy.
we're messy with our language. We use slang, we've got emojis, typos, you name it.
Right, like expecting a toddler to just pick up Shakespeare.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how do we bridge that gap?
So that's where the NLP pipeline comes in.
Okay.
You can think of it like an assembly line, but for language.
Okay.
Like we're taking this raw text through these different steps.
I'm picturing like robots with tiny dictionaries highlighting things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So we start with gathering the data, and then comes the tough part,
Yeah.
which is the text pre-processing.
Okay.
And that's where we're really cleaning things up, getting it ready for the computer to actually make sense of it.
So less like highlighters, more like red pens and like,
Exactly. So after that, we need to transform the text into numbers. Because remember, computers don't think in words, they think in numbers.
Right.
Like, hello world becomes this string of zeros and ones.
Zeros and ones, yeah.
And then we can finally build models and train them on that numerical data. But today we're really focusing on that crucial first step, which is that pre-processing part.
That pre-processing, the foundation.
A foundation, exactly.
So why is this cleanup? Why is that so important?
Well, think about it. Hope and hope might mean the same thing to us.
Right. Yeah.
But to a computer, they look totally different.
Oh, okay.
So pre-processing makes sure everything's consistent so the computer doesn't get confused.
It's like those spot the difference puzzles, but for code.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And what's really cool is how we prepare the text really depends on what we're trying to do with it.
Oh, okay.
Like a grammar checker needs all those little words like "s" and "a."
Right?
But if we're trying to summarize something,
Yeah.
they're just cluttered. They're in the way.
They're in the way. Okay.
Exactly.
Tailored approach then.
Exactly. Tailored for the task.
Okay, so what are some of the tools then? What are these transformations we're making?
Well, we start at the basics, converting everything to lowercase,
Okay.
which is kind of like, organizing a junk drawer.
Love that.
Everything's just easier to find when it's consistent.
Easier to find. Yeah.
Then we get rid of those pesky special characters.
Oh, okay.
Imagine trying to read a sentence with typos and random symbols everywhere.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No, exactly.
Well, thanks.
And then there are stop words. These are those common words like the, a, is getting rid of those. Is like skimming an article. You just want the important stuff.
The key information, yeah.
Exact.
So lowercase, special characters, stop words. I'm with you so far.
Okay, good.
What about stemming and lemmatization? Those sound a lot more complex.
Yeah, they're key players, they are.
Okay.
They're like two different approaches to getting to the root of a word. So stemming, specifically Porter and Snowball stemming, is basically taking a chainsaw to a word
Really?
to get to its base form.
Wow. Okay.
So it's fast, but it can be a bit messy.
Okay.
Like running just becomes run.
Right.
You lose a little bit of the nuance there.
So speed versus accuracy then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Lemmatization, on the other hand, this is like using a scalpel.
Oh, okay.
It's more precise,
Oh.
but it might take a little longer.
Okay.
Make sure we're getting that dictionary form of the word.
So ran becomes run properly.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand.
So stemming for speed, lemmatization for precision.
Got it.
Yeah.
But what about emojis? We can't forget emojis. Are we getting rid of all the fun?
No, emojis, that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might actually remove them completely,
Okay.
but other times we can convert them into text.
Oh, interesting.
Like that smiley face emoji
Yeah.
becomes the words smiling face.
Wow.
And we can even do that with flags, believe it or not.
So we're capturing emotions, even in digital form.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
And then last but not least,
Yeah.
we've got our friend, spelling correction.
Oh, right. Of course.
It's like autocorrect for NLP, cleaning up all those little typos so they don't mess things up.
So it's fascinating, all of this. But I do have to ask, like, why should any of our listeners care about this? This all seems very technical.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's all this behind-the-scenes stuff that makes the things you use every single day so much better.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me an example. Impress me.
All right, so take search engines, for example.
Okay.
Remember back in the day when you would type in a search and get like a million totally useless results?
Oh, yeah. It's the worst.
Yeah. And now search engines, they use NLP to understand what you actually mean, not just the words you type.
So NLP is helping me find what I actually want on, like, the first try?
Exactly.
Like, that is super useful.
It goes way beyond that, though.
Okay.
Imagine Let's say a company wants to know what people are saying about their new product or something.
Okay.
NLP can analyze like thousands of social media posts and tell them if people are generally feeling positive or negative about it.
So much faster than a person trying to read all that. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, what about chatbots? Those have gotten so much better, I
I
feel
know,
like.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's totally NLP in action.
Okay.
Because now they can actually understand what we're saying.
Right.
So they can have a real conversation instead of just like giving those canned responses.
Yeah, I've definitely had moments where I forgot I wasn't talking to a real person, which is kind of freaky.
It's true. They're getting really good.
It's really impressive.
And the thing is, this is still just the beginning.
Really?
Yeah, like in healthcare, they're using NLP to analyze medical records,
Wow.
to do research, understand scientific papers, even in education,
Wow.
to create personalized learning experiences. It's incredible.
I had no idea that NLP was such a big deal for so many different things. That's amazing.
It's huge. It's really changing how we use technology.
Yeah. It's kind of exciting, but also a little bit like, I don't know, are there challenges with making sure this technology is used responsibly?
Oh, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest challenges is making sure that the models themselves are fair and unbiased.
Because if a model is trained with biased data, that's going to affect the outcome.
Exactly. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say, right?
Right.
So there's a ton of work being done to figure out how to make sure that these models are ethical.
Okay, that's good to know. Anything else come to mind?
I think another big one, especially as these models get more and more advanced, is figuring out the whole ethics side of things, Like how do we protect people's privacy when we're dealing with all this information, things like that.
Those are all really good points, and it seems like there's a lot to consider as we kind of go forward.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's an incredibly powerful tool, but like anything else, it has to be used responsibly.
Well said. Well said. So we've talked about how NLP works. We've seen what it can do. What's next? What does the future hold for NLP?
Well, one area where things are really getting interesting is language generation.
Okay, you mean like computers actually writing like humans?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like we're already seeing it with those AI writing assistants, right?
Yeah.
Helping you create content, translating languages, even writing different creative stuff.
So you're saying I could have an AI write me a poem?
Hey, it could happen. You never know.
That's wild. Okay. But beyond just like writing, it sounds like NLP can also help us understand information better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about fields like finance or law.
Yeah.
Got tons of data.
Yeah, mountains of it.
Right. And NLP can help analyze all those documents, pull out the important bits,
Okay.
even flag potential risks or opportunities. It's really quite amazing.
It really is. It sounds like it could change a lot of industries.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's not even just about, like, doing things faster.
Right.
It's about helping us make better decisions, by giving us a clearer picture of what's going on.
This has been incredible. I feel like I've learned so much.
It's been a pleasure talking about it.
It really has. NLP is fascinating and a little bit intimidating, if I'm being honest.
It's a powerful tool.
It really is. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today and sharing your expertise.
Happy to be here.
And to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of NLP. We'll see you next time for another one.